So this Arvo was servicing Liam's diffs and his engine on his TD42 Nissan Patrol. Alright, so to help us service the Patrol, we've got oil pan and funnel, we've got filter wrenches, standard socket set and spanner set. So let's get straight into it. Alright, so first up, I'm just going to drop the oil in the diff so I can start draining. So hopefully this one won't be too tight. Alright, so we're going to use Mechanic Dan's tip, and as we're undoing the drain plug, we're just going to push it inwards as to hold it up so that we don't spill oil over ourselves. And then when it's loose, drop it in like that. So yeah, just inspecting the drain plug. As you can see, I've got a few sort of bigger size chunks of swarf. Look, I suppose that's just what happens when you have a car that's 500,000 Ks old, and I don't know when the last owner serviced these diffs or anything like that, so all I can do is just service it and give this a clean up and hope she's still alright. Alright, so we're just going to undo the filler plug as well to help the diff drain so that there's not an airlock. On my car, I've still got the front sway bars on, so it's actually made it a little bit difficult to get a socket in there, so I've just had to use the smaller drive to get in there. Ah, feel like it's dry, completely dry. So I think my car didn't have enough oil in the front diff from the looks of it. The end of this is completely dry, so it's never had oil touch it really. And as you can tell, if you can see inside the oil pan there is next to no oil for what should be in there. Alright, so just having a look at the drain plug, as you can see there is quite a lot of swarf build up on the end of there. From what I know, there might be a couple of reasons for this. By the looks of it, this oil hasn't been changed in a long time. When I bought the car, I serviced all the fluids other than the diffs because I didn't have the product at the time. So who knows how long since the last owner serviced it. So this is either wear from recently or the oil's just been in there for a long time, and so this is a long build up of swarf. Yeah, so I suppose this is a good reminder as to why you have to service your car, all parts, not just diffs. Yeah, you don't want little bits possibly floating around in your diffs and getting jammed up and things and causing things to bind. So yeah, always maintain your car when you're supposed to. So as you can see, this oil is not in the greatest of states, and there is not a lot of it either. I think the front diff's meant to take 3 to 4 litres of oil. To me, that looks like about 1.5 if we're lucky. I do have a leaking swivel hub at the moment, so whether that's contributed to how much oil is in there, but yeah, this isn't a lot of oil at all, so that could definitely play a contribution into the buildup of swarf on the drain plug. Alright, so just to the rear diff now. Before I undo it, I've noticed that the drain plug, the hole to put the 1/2 inch drive in, is just caked with mud. So I'm currently cleaning that out with a screwdriver so we can actually get the piece in there. Just having a look at it though, it does look like at some point this rear plug has bottomed out on something and caused the metal on the nut to sort of mold over the 1/2 inch drive hole. So I don't actually know if we're going to be able to get our socket into this. Alright, so as you can see, because we've hit something, we've obviously hit the drain plug at some stage, and so the 1/2 inch drive does not fit in there. So instead I'm using the next size down to try and open it, and if not unscrew it. This should like sort of strip it out back to the size that it should be, because it's just overhanging metal chunks. Oh, it's getting better. Just square and reduced sort of thing.
As I'm coming around, you're pulling back.
No, the lug's not moving. No. Alright, so while Liam was trying to get that drain plug out, I head down a Patrol part, picked up a new drain plug. So hopefully by the time I get back, that drain plug's out and we're good to go. There's your drain plug. Thank you very much. That is much needed. When we pulled it out, it's actually brutal. Alright, so we managed to get it loose. And so now I'm just gonna drain the oil, finally. It's absolutely rooted, this.
White strips on the outside.
Yeah, I will on it. So we finally got the diff plug out. Originally, as you can see, we're having the problem that it was too small. The hole, it wasn't a 1/2 inch drive size like it's meant to be, because obviously at some stage the plug has taken a big hit on a rock, or probably something harder than a rock, I'd say, and it's bent it to make the hole smaller, essentially. So using the Dremel, we were able to slowly work the sides of it. We used a little bit like this, which is like an aggressive filing type bit, and just routing the insides over and over until it was big enough to accept the 1/2 inch drive. The other issue I was having is, as you can see, there's next to no wall on the edge there. So every time we would go to turn the 1/2 inch driver, it'd just want to pop out because there's nothing for it to grip onto. So we had to, in the end, use the 1/2 inch drive as well as a set of vice grips on the tiny bit of the thread hanging out and turn them together, and we managed to get it free. But looking at the plug on this one, it's actually not a lot better than the front. There's not really any chunks or anything on there. It's pretty good. So yeah, success. It's at the front diff now. Just gonna quickly chuck the drain plug back in and then we'll start filling her up. Now, front diff. Alright, so we're ready to fill up the front diff. We're gonna use the Newline Easy Squeeze 75/90. So yeah, let's get to it. Pull this off, take our hose out. Easy. Undo this one, and then screw our fitting on. Now, time to fill her up. Alright, so that took about 4.7 litres, I'd say. Got about 1/3 of a bag left or thereabouts, so we'll just chuck the fill plug back in and then we'll move on to the rear. There you go. So we're here at the rear diff. We've let it drain for a while, so now we're just going to chuck in the drain plug, the new drain plug from Lotus. Yeah, I know, I'm not. I'm just making sure it's going to fall out. Alright, so we're ready to top up the rear diff. We're using Newline's Easy Squeeze 85/140 limited slip diff oil. It's important that you use a limited slip diff oil when you've got a limited slip diff. So make sure you use appropriate oil for your car. So in the end, the rear diff took about 4.7 litres as well, same as the front, which is more than I expected. So we'll chuck the fill cap back in and then we'll move on to the engine. Alright, well, so that rear diff took 4.7 litres, which is quite a bit more than I thought it would. So obviously there's different types of diffs between different GQ models. So if you know anything about them, definitely let us know in the comments. It's got some funny colours to it too, I suppose. Didn't look as bad as the... Alright, so let's get onto the engine. Alright, so underneath the big TD. Now we're gonna drain the oil from the sump. That was a 1 snap crack.
Bloody hell, you're strong.
No, I just don't think I did it up tight last time. Oh, I should have taken off the rocket cover plug as well. Sorry. That lovely black diesel oil. Alright, now that's gonna want to drain for a while, so let's go up top. Alright, so I'm gonna undo the oil filler to make it drain faster. These can sometimes be really, really tight. Like, really tight. So, where's a rag? Oh, there you go. So yeah, so when you open up the oil filler cap, air doesn't have to try to get in through the oil sump. You can feed in from the top so that the oil can drain out nicely. Alright, so I'm gonna undo the oil filters. Yeah, these were last changed 5,000 Ks ago, as they should be. Now tight. Oh, Jesus. Alright, see if we can try to do it without spilling oil everywhere, which I don't think we will be able to, but... Lovely black oil filters. Alright, got it. Finally. It's a bit overkill that a TD has 2 filters. Because I think it's meant to... I read somewhere that it's meant to make it so you don't have to oil change as often, but everyone still does them at 5,000 anyway, because it's better for the motor, so it's like, what's the point in having 2? Like one each heads and they only have 1. So I don't know why these have 2. It's sort of, I don't know, overkill. But that's alright, things we do for our cars. People will bitch using dirty oil to lubricate it. I don't care what sort of oil I use, oil's oil. Like it just looks black because it's because it's a diesel. Like I reckon, it'd be interesting to do. I reckon you could drop fresh oil into a car and then drain it instantly, and I reckon it'd pretty much come out black.
Like it's just what they like.
I think they feel like they're pre-lubricated anyway. I think they are. So just hand tie it, pretty sure, for these ones, because they'll tighten them up themselves when the seals expand. Yep. And number 2, they should be good to go. So we'll put the sun plug back in, and we can get on to topping her up. Another quick thing, it's pretty common, but I always like to write the date and the kilometers on my oil filters, just so I know if for whatever reason I forget, then, or if I, for whatever reason, someone will know when the car was last changed. There you go. First one would look like 5-year-olds riding, but that's alright, I'll know what I'm talking about. Alright, so the sump's been draining for a while now, still a few trickles obviously, but I'm just gonna go in and plug that one up. Alright, all good. Alright, so time to fill up the old girl. Newlon semi-synthetic 1540, 4 diesels specifically, which is good. I think they're meant to take around 11 litres, so we should get through at least 2. Alright, so we've put roughly 11 litres in, or thereabouts, so we'll start her up, check the dipstick, and then see how we go from there. Non-existent. Alright, so we just ran the car for a couple minutes, so just gonna clean off the dipstick, and then we'll chuck her back in and see where we are. Alright, so we got the oil level to where we want it, just over halfway sort of thing up near the top end in case a little bit gets burnt into the atmosphere. Just to finish off, we're gonna add some of this diesel fuel system extreme cleaner into the fuel tank. Yeah, so this is just a fuel additive to clean your injectors, prevents corrosion, cleans your fuel system, you know, that sort of thing. So I've only got about half a tank in here. This treats up to 100 litres, so we're just gonna add half in. Yep, feels like about half, so. So that's our service complete on the TD42 Patrol. Make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you have anything to say about it. Make sure you get subscribed, and we'll see you in the next Arvo.